Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and the biggest Blitzwing fanboy of them all. Do not panic. This is just a random review.
Hello everyone. Number 2 for my impromptu storm review medley, we have with us the new core class Wheelie. Wheelie, always somewhat of a controversial figure amongst Transformer fans. Was he kid-friendly or was he just annoying? We leave that to you to decide. I will not judge your taste of characters. I will, however, judge this toy as I see fit. Core class, I think these days core class is just a little too expensive for what it is. To go in blindly. I really feel like while I tend to ignore toys this small as far as like review material go, I do think it's worthy of doing it because you need to be informed about your purchasing decision on this one. And it's very, very easy to pick up a core class and be unsatisfied with what you spent on it. So this is kind of an important size class to have reviews of. So that is what we are here for today. Alright, G1 Wheelie from Studio Series, which means we are going full on animation accurate. So, on my camera right now, the orange is a little bit brighter than it actually is in person. It's kind of a deeper, more rich orange, and this has a little bit more of a paleness to it. It's not quite like a light orange like that. But I do really like the colors. They are much closer in tone to how he looked in the 86 movie as opposed to the cartoon, whereas color shade is a little bit lighter. Also, I like the blue canopy. One of the things is like on the Titans Return version, they didn't use the blue canopy, which is accurate to the movie, and they did not use the white that would be accurate to the toy. They went with a smoke gray, and I don't think it looks good on Wheelie. I also don't like the two tones of orange they picked on there. He looks too bright. Like there's too much contrast between the two shades. This works a little bit better for me. Alright, form-wise, it doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit blocky here in the front. It doesn't swoop and slope down quite as much as the original toy did. Kind of looks like the end of his nose got broken off. But other than that, yeah, it's a nice, smooth, very round, clean version of G1 Wheelie with hands at the back. But no, it's a very nice take on Wheelie's vehicle mode. They did a pretty good job, except for the hands. But you don't. Okay, look, it doesn't matter. All right, okay, so we get it. It's a core class. They don't have too many places for things to go, especially when the wheel wells are right here. So yeah, we just have to deal with the fact that there's a pair of silver fists just hanging out the back of the car mode. We're just going to give it a pass here. All right, okay. I will, like before I was so rudely interrupted, I apologize for the jump cut. We also have a nice little Easter egg in this vehicle mode. It's a little bit hard for me to get because I'm trying not to scratch up the paint. But if you flip up the canopy, you do see Wheelie's face buried in there, which is exactly where his original toy kept the head, which is a nice little touch to work in. Easter eggs like that at a toy this small is not the easiest thing in the world. So I do credit Hasbro and Takara for designing something that has a really clever little bit in it like that. All right, let's get him transformed. And of course, it's a core class. This ain't gonna take long. All right, so we'll start by unpegging the sides out from the rear, double hinge them down to form the arms. And we're just gonna go ahead and unsnap the arms together. They lock in place with these tabs. So yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness to there where like his elbows are just permanently bent in robot mode or just like super straight. So there's like a weird angle where you can't hit because of that, but it's not too much of a deterrent, I don't think. All right, we get the legs unpegged. Get them. Oh, hang on. This is a weird part of this assembly because like most of the front is the legs. So we actually have to take hold of the part that becomes a chest right here and then pop the whole thing off. The legs have this really weird connection point. Actually, I should have taken that off. We'll get to that here in a bit. But the legs have this like really weird thing here where like we're gonna open this up, and then they have this double hinge that goes across to splay the legs out and give them the correct stance. It's a very unusual piece to find in such a small figure, and it's solely meant to get the angle of the legs correct in the vehicle mode. And it's an appreciated effort on the part of the designers. Rotate the legs forward, flip the feet forward, and we're just about done. So raise up the canopy, lower the front end so everything can kind of come around. Raise the head up like so. Make sure everything is tabbed in correctly. And just like that, we are going to call Wheelie done. And look at that. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. How can you not love that, except for the fact that, you know, I know a lot of people don't love Wheelie. But, like, yeah, that's a pretty clean transformation. Like, I actually do like how involved it is for its size. There's a nice bit of, like, little cleverness going on in there that I do enjoy. And like we mentioned, there's some engineering that I don't really expect from a toy this small, but they worked it in anyway, which is always good. All right. Can I get a close-up of his head when he's such a small figure? Let's see. Oh, yeah. On this camera's going to struggle with this. I apologize on that. But yeah, it's a very nice little sculpt of G1 Wheelie's face. Oh, ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, there we go. That's how to work it. Yeah, it's a nice little rendition. He's a happy little guy. You know, nothing too complicated, nothing too involved. It's just a nice straight up wheelie. That's it. Not a whole lot of tech rebuild going on. I do like the gray to the lower legs. They're a little bit stumpy, you know, in comparison to his proportions, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst sacrifice a toy this small could make in order to come out correct. It still looks really nice, right? The fists provide the only little bit of silver in the robot mode outside the face, so they stand out quite a bit from the orange. You know, from that, we look in the rear. He got a butt. Oh, he got a butt. He's got a butt on him. Nice and round butt. And then you can shove his slingshot up his butt for storage. I don't make these things up. This is not me that designed this. This is just how it is. And then you have to... I'm not even going to describe what I'm doing now. You see what's going on. They're robots. Just keep that in mind. They're all just robots. All right, so let's get him back down to a little bit more of a comfortable level for me. Proportionally, he is not bad, though he is very wide in the shoulders because of how he is engineered. I think it would have looked a little bit better if there's more connection between like the upper shoulder and the midsection. It's just kind of weird how they're just kind of blocks sticking out of his chest like that. And like I said, his legs do look a little bit stumpy. So the proportions on him are just a little bit odd and potentially off-putting to someone who's really particular about how their wheelie looks. Beyond that, pretty clean all the way around. Like we said, he's just got this one piece of shell, which is unfortunately placed. Beyond that, everything does seem to look pretty nice about him. And yes, we can arm him with his traditional slingshot weapon. Goes right there. All right, articulation. Head is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of back and forth as well as 360-degree rotation. Shoulders are interesting because you have a ball joint, so you have full rotation and movement outward there, but you also have this joint up here, so you can start getting into some unusual poses thanks to that buried hinge in his torso from transformation. Let's see, 90-degree elbow, which, as we said, has this blind spot where between there and there's no fine-tuning. You know, so you just usually have to have a slight bend to his arms. Nothing at the waist at this size class. That's not unusual. Ball joints in the hips for full range of motion. Ball joints in the knees for 90 degrees of bend as well as rotation this way and that way. Nothing at the ankle. So standard articulation for a core class figure. He's got plenty of posable options for his size. That is what I'm looking for. Now, because this is a wheelie, there's one thing in particular I have to make sure he can do. And that is a slingshot pose. And if we angle him like that and angle his arms up, he absolutely can look like he is firing his slingshot. You still have to use a little bit of imagination for it, but I do think it works. Certainly works better than other wheelies I've seen with slingshot accessories. Now, there is a point to make about this is a very small wheelie compared to a lot of figures we're getting now, where like mini bots are getting upgraded to deluxe classes these days, which kind of leaves me wondering like where Wheelie's going to end up. If anything, I feel like this is the toy that was supposed to come with Studio Series Grimlock before it got budgeted down into just a complicated accessory. It's a very nice take on Wheelie and absolutely replaces that little, basically that waste of plastic they threw in with Grimlock. But I don't think, if it's for the right person, I don't think it quite replaces the Titan's Return figure. Not only because of the size difference, but also just because of what that toy was capable of. So I find that there is reason for both to exist. I do prefer this one toy-wise. I just find it to be a better approximation of what I want out of a wheelie. But if you still like the Titan Return one better, there's nothing wrong with that. This is just a simple reviewer giving an opinion, and in my opinion, yeah, Wheelie, not bad at all. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.